Thank you guys. My name is Eduardo, and I'm very happy to be the host for the event tonight. Before we get into the nitty gritty, I want to give a big thank you to Mass Development, to the Bar Foundation, and to Chelsea's Cultural Council, because they believed in this, they supported it, and it's just without that type of support, these kind of events cannot happen. So big thank you to those organizations. Big thank you to the Polish Club here for giving us this space. Believe it or not, that is a big issue. I think in a lot of places that there is not enough venue spaces for this type of engagement. So a big thank you to the Polish Club. And then to local artist Max Pro, aka Max Corona. He is an amazing artist. He's been doing a lot of engagement with the local community here, not just in Chelsea, outside of Chelsea as well. He does painting, he's a rapper, he does just a lot of great things, and so a big thank you to you, Max, for being here with us tonight. And please make sure to sit down and get a chance to look at his video. And then obviously a big shout out to our selector and our Q&A guest, DJ SumJ, aka Jonathan. So yes, thank you for being here with me today.
I don't think of my own.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. maybe we should trade mics.
Oh, I don't know.
Hello. We want to hear what you gotta say.
Just too soft spoken.
Okay, here we go. So we're gonna get started with a few questions here, that I put together, and ultimately, again, this is for you guys to just feel open to ask any questions that you may have, or just anything that you want to bring up, and maybe we can answer it, maybe not. But the important thing is that we have a conversation, all right? So this will last for a little bit. It won't last too long. Don't worry, we'll get back to the fun stuff. And of course, our bar is still open, so don't worry about that. So, all right, so we're gonna get started here. So the first question here for you, SumJ, is what first drew you to vinyl records and analog sound?
Wow, that's a great question. I was really lucky to have a dad. My father had. He traveled a lot for work. He was an ethnobotanist, and he traveled. He was the one going out. This plant does that, and he would bring back records and music. And I was really lucky that he took me out to live music a lot. And I was really fortunate to be in a city where it just was all around you. It was, I was always surprised when I would go to other places, anybody knew anything about hip hop or anything. It seemed like, I know that's most New Yorkers, it's true, we're insufferable and we think the world revolves around us, but it's just we don't get out much, even though you think you're worldly. But I think the first, I'm so old, this will date me, sorry, Grace. But I remember some of the first hip hop shows I would see in Brooklyn, and I'm a Brooklyn snob. I think I know it's the Bronx, but I think it's Brooklyn. But house parties, and just was around a lot of music was the main thing. And how I got into DJing, we just wanted to where did that come from? And then because my father had a really deep record collection, I got grounded often for stealing the records and taking them out. I didn't know what I was doing. I think that's the best thing. You don't have to know. I've had many people ask me, how do I get started? How do I do things? Just go do. Mess up. It's okay. Nobody knows. You'll figure it out. And that was a lot of fun. And so I was lucky to be around a lot of people that encouraged it. I don't think you could walk it down a block without hearing it. I would freely DJ house block parties and things. I'd mess up all the time. But yeah, mostly my dad.
Awesome, I love that. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of collectors, that's kind of a lot of people start. So that's awesome. Is there a specific record that you you're just man, this record is the one that just, draw me to my knees, you know what I mean?
there are records that I, like Desert Island stuff, that probably wouldn't be what got me into like John Coltrane, Love Supreme, things like that. But my dad oddly had a lot of library music, which I thought was great because you kept trying to show off like what breaks you had. Like everybody had the disco breaks. Like after a while, they got like pretty easy to obtain. But I got like a lot of library music, like German, European, like soundtrack stuff for TVs and movies.
Can you tell us what you mean by breaks?
Yeah, so breaks meaning, it's really interesting today where it's just on loops and people can create that stuff with software. Back in the day, like you would find a break in a song track that no one was singing over, or there just was a drum break, and you could loop that and learn either through tape looping or you could with records as well. Fat Beats back in the early days would offer. They were the first in maybe not the first in my experience to offer DJ tool records. So you would have very common disco breaks that you would on loop, and so or you would try to bring like the most famous, I think, the most skilled in the last probably 30 years, like Master Mike. Did a long tour with the Beastie Boys and stuff. And back in the day, he was, you would, when you were doing live parties and house parties, you would rotate this break. So some of the stuff I was playing before, sort of showing off that, like these really well-known disco breaks, and so you would constantly change it. And you probably wouldn't get asked back if nobody was rapping or singing over the top of it. So you had to keep it fresh and try to do something different. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, yeah, I think so. I think it gives me a good understanding. Hopefully, that's for everyone else.
Yeah, sorry.
Is there a DJ? Can you remember the DJ's name of the one that you were like, I gotta be a DJ?
Red Alert.
Red Alert.
Oh my God.
Is this New York-based DJ?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say he's from Queens. Yeah, like he's done a lot of stuff with a lot of crews and interesting around that area, like folks would come in like DJ Jazz and Jeff and folks that felt like you didn't, what he's known for is not like what I remember seeing him for the first time. And I think most recent, in the last, there were what I would call selectors that would, like Danny Holloway, who does different records, deep reggae crates that I've learned a lot from, and I love DJ Badu, J Rock, the ones that I'll never forget. I was doing a gig at Dante's HiFi in Miami, and J Rock walks in, and I had a good one. I didn't want to spin records in front of him. And we used to, Guru and DJ Premier would come into some of the clubs in Bed-Stuy and I would get terrified of like I'm not playing records, but they would encourage you like, oh, it's good. So those were the guys that I used to look up to and stuff. So yeah,
that's awesome. That's great. Yeah. So kind of thinking about today and a lot of the digital takeover of music that's happened in the last maybe like 20-30 years. Why do you think that vinyl continues to just be such a strong medium that continues to even with young people continues to be popular, and I think even within the last 2 years the sales of records has over exceeded digital sales. I mean, can you give us a little bit of why you think that's happening or that's happened?
I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to see it happen. On the flip side, I do lots of edits. Some of them will play later, and it's annoying because the pressing plant now, because they're making more money with the big label, so it's like, Jesus Christ, so it's harder to get that, and they're more scared now because of rights, licensing. They used to just let us print up anything that we wanted. But I don't know if it's a sound quality. I don't know if I may be romanticizing a little bit, so sorry if I sound like I'm full of crap, but it's I think there's a warmth to it that you just don't. I guarantee you, I could play the remastered version of DJ the 180 gram, like, it's night and day in my mind. If you've got it, if Bozzy's got your good system set up, like, you'll hear it. I think it's the warmth. There's something, for me, spinning records, I tried to be less of a grumpy kind of Larry David about DJing, where I said not have a lot of respect for like controllers when things are just, there's a skill to it, I guess. Like if you're out playing music, I should just be happy doing something. But there's something about like, Bozzy and I talk a lot about like older mixer I have. Like, it's a 2-channel. There's no digital effects. You had to like create that yourself.
Right.
You had to hack into it and mess with it and fuck it up maybe. But like, you had to play with the tempo. There's no software to it. So you have to know your records, and you have to you're filling out. I think there's something in real time. Like I love the little mistakes that are made, and a lot of the records that I'm playing and stuff, those are recorded live. Like and so the tempos they're not like, there's a skill involved in it that's very different. And I don't know if that's, I don't know why I don't think that's what's made vinyl popular, but there's something about, I think just the warmth and to me it sounds, and it's more accessible. Like I think there are a lot of systems now that aren't crazy expensive. You can go that way, but there are a lot of systems now that are more entry level that you can get the sound. That's my 2 cents.
Cool. I'm gonna take a little pause there and open it up to see if there's anyone from the audience that would like to ask questions. I can continue here. I definitely have plenty of questions. Don't worry about that. But again, this is all about you guys and making sure, I'm sure there's a lot of vinyl heads out there, DJs who may have questions, and if you don't, that's okay too. Cool, we'll continue here.
So you said about the sound quality. Is it true that the quality of sound is going down with the new vinyls? As in, I think somebody was mentioning, or I read somewhere that the QC is not happening. What does that mean? As in, is it mastering of the records not good, or is it like, just sell?
Yeah, that's a big. I mean, I'm not.
Is it true?
I'm not a sound engineer, but I've noticed records I'm very familiar with when they reissue that just something doesn't sound. They don't sound as rich to me. I'm really picky about the labels that do a lot of reissues. We have a few pressing plants that we try to work with that know what they're doing. What was happening with a lot of 45 releases, and that's my focus, is you get a record and you go like, oh, that's a lathe cut. Like lathe cuts are processed a little differently. You can have your own machine, and more and more people are doing it, which is great, but it also means the quality. If you don't know anything about, I know what I know. I know I'm not a sound engineer, but I know what I can know enough to be dangerous, or like, no, that's not, and we send it back. And I just think that over the last 5 years, we're sending more stuff back a lot. I don't know if it's the mass production of it. I don't know. I just, everybody's starting to, because it's, people will pay money for it. They'll pay.
Oh yeah.
But, a lot of, like I'm just a copycat. Like J-Rock, he introduced me to Nick Bike. He's a really great DJ in himself. Does a lot of controller stuff, but he's a good vinyl DJ. He's got a great collection, and he's also has a sound engineering background. So his lathe cuts actually sound pretty great. It's not like, I don't think it's something like, oh, you've got to get the best wax oil. Like, there's no like premium. It's really about how it's engineered and relayed and taken wax. But that's just been my experience. But it's not surprising in any mass production, like, an opportunity to make money, you're going to cut costs. Like, I have a dear friend that's in her group. She was trying to, that I know, who was trying to spin, and I was trying to tell her, like, how this can become expensive quick is a hobby. Like, I was like, you're bringing in really cheaply made records, and it just sounds, you can hear it, and the sound quality is all over the place. And I've learned a lot over the years from different venue, like music directors and people that have taught me, like, I remember I did that too when I was little. Like now if I'm get high quality records, you know, like press really well, make a big difference. I don't know if that answers your question, but I'm just speculating.
It sounds like quality. A lot of it is quality, and then also it's to ear, right? I mean, we all have a specific ear, the way we hear things. I've done the deed of where I spend a lot of money on a record, and it sounds horrible. And I'm like, dude, I paid a lot of money for this. There's no way that this is sounding horrible, but it's what SumJ's saying. You know, they probably cut a corner, and they went more of like, how can we sell, instead of what vinyl is really all about. So, thank you for the question. Appreciate that. So SumJ, in terms of obviously you're a well-known DJ. You played in a lot of great venues in Boston, Cambridge area. Now in Chelsea, he was here. He actually played under the Tobin Bridge Electronic Tobin. So woo!
Thank you. That was awesome. I got to do something I normally don't do. I mean, I've got all kinds of genres, but it was nice to do. I've done a few disco edits and one new disco. I like the live instrumentation of this stuff. I'm so good to that and everything. But like, again, really difficult to do because the records that you're playing, disco, soul, funk, those are the stuff that we're pulling from and hip hop's pulling from. Those are recorded live, so the tempo's wrong. Sorry, that's not your question.
No.
But that was a lot of fun. So I thank you for that.
It was great. It's great. My question to you is, as you're gearing up for your sets, what's going through your mind as you're putting your records together, or are you a type of DJ that's like, I'm just gonna bring whatever and I'm just gonna go with it?
Wow, it's really different. Like, one of the things we tried to do here is we did this at State Park. So I'll do a quick explanation of what Fay 45s is. Fay 45 started out as a house party in Brooklyn. I'm so old, God, about 30-something years ago. And it really was my cousin, who's like an indie rock star, a drummer guy, he's played with LCD Sound System, those guys, and we both were record collectors. He was like my little brother. I made him my little brother, whether he wanted to be or not. And we would do house parties all the time, and we started showing off. And moving around Brooklyn and New York with heavy records, that was the original reason 45s. They just were small. And what we would do if it was like me, you, and Bozzy were DJing that party, we would meet at the venue and we'd have a toke, drink, whatever it was, whatever makes you happy and safe. And then you'd have 3 hours to go buy the records you were going to play that night.
Wow, okay.
And because we kept stealing from each other, so we just like, okay, these are just. And if I saw you in a record store, I had to leave, and I had to go somewhere else. And you show up to the event, and then you show up at the event, and we all hand each other our grades.
Okay.
And you shuffle them, and then you hold them until it's your time to go on. And it was a way to go, do you know your records, and do you know how to do this, like regardless of what the mix is. And what I loved about these parties is New York is not shy at, no one's gonna come up to you and ask you for like, hey, can you play me some reggaeton, or play me this Beyonce song, or whatever it is. They'll let you know if it sucks, if they don't like it, but they're not gonna do that. So because they want you to do a mix of stuff we know, take me somewhere else. So when I'm thinking about a night, sorry to get to your question, it's that, like, those are kind of spontaneous, but you have to think about that too while you're there.
Yeah.
So it's, as I was saying before, like, if we had a house party here, and it was just you two dancing, I'm gonna play for you. Like, I don't really care, I just zone out, and that tends to be, I've learned over the years to have my weapons with me. I've got the stuff I know is I'm not a requester. I try not to be an asshole about it, but I'm like, these are small records. What are you listening? I always tell the younger DJs, like, if someone asks you, don't be offended. It's an opportunity to teach somebody something, or go like, well, what are you listening for? Like, it happens every time. Can you play me some ABBA? I can't. Not out of protest, but I wish I had the money they had. But I don't have any, or whatever it is. So what are you looking for? So I try to have a breadth of that. I'm a huge nerd and collector of Brazilian music from a very specific time, like funk and soul. Like I think some of the funkest music ever made was in Brazil, 70 to 75. And sorry, I'm a nerd. And I have these all in 45s, and so we'll do a Brazilian 45 night. And it was one of the ways that I got to feel more comfortable living in the Boston area, because I was honestly a little like, man, what's up? Like, I got farmer bros coming up and asking me for like, dude, where is the soul of Boston? Like, where are the, I know it's here somewhere, but it's not like in your face like New York is. But I learned, I'm an idiot, been here, I think I've been here 15 years now, but like fifth year here, and we're like, this is the second largest Brazilian population in the country behind Miami, like if you add it all up. And I was DJing this night, because the night it happened, I was at State Park and I was playing a bunch of stuff. I played a bunch of Brazilian, and then I moved to like Fila Kuti or something. And this group came out around the corner, and they were, I guess it was a compliment because they were speaking Brazilian to me, and I'm like, I only know obrigado, that's about it. And I was like, I'll keep playing for you if you dance, like all night. And and we did another night, and it sold out.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I think it's, sorry, I even forgot the question, sorry.
No,
I'm just rambling. But I think that's something I've enjoyed about Boston, and meeting folks like you guys. And
Yep.
Tobin was so much fun.
Yeah.
There was just, go ahead, sorry.
No, that's great. That's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And talking about young DJs, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out here who are vinyl collectors or thinking about collecting vinyl, maybe just starting. You obviously have thousands and thousands of records.
Yeah.
What would
Luckily,
you?
my wife just left, so she thinks I have less, but she knows.
Yes, we won't tell her about that secret stash. What type of advice could would you give to young collectors? Obviously just thinking about maybe they're just either DJs, music lovers, or just plain and just love to have that type of medium. What would your advice be to them?
I mean, it was funny. I was talking to a friend of mine. She's got she's built up a really good soul funk collection. I was like, well, do you have, just testing maybe, do you have these things? Do you have, what kind of jazz funk do you have, or what? I think it's different for me. The introduction was like hip hop for the most part. Like, where did this come from? So you would dig and find it. You'd look for breaks. Like I was a friend of Bozzy's, Anita, who was DJing at AF. She was getting started, and she had some good, besides needing to have better quality records, I was like, well, where are the stores, where do you frequent? Like, what are your, one of the things that's really interesting is I wish there were more record stores like this in Boston. I think there's some Good Taste Records in the North End. I know Cody. That's kind of a general for all. You'll get pop stuff there, but he does around the corner, really great 45s in there. If you just, I was spend time with it, take time and also, this is my goofy thing. I'm go to a record store you've never been, or I challenge people, go to Soundtracks up in Beverly. So George is up there, who's the DJ behind Czarface, which I still can't get my head around. Looks like a Greek soccer dad, but he's awesome. But I was buy a record that you just like the cover of. Just take a risk. Go to, if you're on it, don't hesitate. If you've got the money and the legs to do it, I've been known to walk up to a yard sale and go, I'll give you $100 for that box. Just to get it and see what you've got. But to really listen to it and take time to, I don't know, I think you have to, it always sounds so cheesy, but you have to water it, cultivate it like you do anything, and really spend time with it. And don't be afraid to play what you want. And if you're starting out, take those records that you found one day or challenge yourself. There's going to be an open table at State Park. DJ Pan is going to run it, and I'm going to show up with these 5 records that I just want to, and see what happens. And if you mess up, who cares? Nobody, believe you, the Farmer Bros there are going, what was that? They didn't play that correctly. So I think, like anything, having confidence in yourself is an expression of the stuff that you're into. It comes through. I love everything I'm playing. I could listen to it over and over. I won't subject you to it, but like the thing that helped me into it was, and I'll try to do some more tonight if you guys are patient with me, is doing live edits or doing a mashup. We were messing around with Lou Reed, and because, I mean, I knew Lou Reed, I knew Velvet, but, you know, Can I Kick It? And so you take the beat from Can I Kick It and have fun with it. You know, I think it's, yeah, find this, don't be ashamed of the stuff you like, and go out and try it, you know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like working it in the moment, so.
Yeah, I think that's pretty amazing advice, to be honest with you, because I think a lot of people times could have a great collection or whatever, but they're just afraid to go out there because they don't know how people are gonna react, and you know, or is this sounding good or not. But yeah, I mean, it's been my personal experience that a lot of the open decks out here in the Boston area are super cool and welcoming. The people who organize them they're totally aware of this need, right? Of having a very inclusive space that makes you feel comfortable with your style of collection.
And I think it's important. It's what helps. I mean, we're human beings. Like, it's like you never leave high school. There are cliques and things like that. But that's here. Like, I was so turned. Before I moved here and I would come up or get a gig here, I was like, oh, fucking Boston, man. It's like there's like a clique. Like you feel like you can't really. And like we may walk around like, oh, we don't. The people I know, the nice, like, gotten to know people like J-Rock, Jim Sharp, even the nicest people, like, and they're approachable. Like, if you know, one of the legends here, Khan, King of Nothing, like, he's one of the most accessible. Just came through his cancer treatment, which is awesome. Like, if he's gonna come back, okay, go see him. You hear his love of disco and really great music, and he really honors. Boston's got a great disco music, like history here, and he reveres it. He shares it. Like, it's one of the my favorite places it's been is at Vero's in Union Square, and because it's like an old school. Like, I get nervous when I walk into a DJ set, and you know there's a DJ. Like, you see them from, like, it's about the music. Like, I like it because you're in the booth, and even if you want to run up and ask for your ABBA request, you're going to have to step, you're going to have to get through Eric, who's the bartender bouncer, and then you're going to have to stand on this huge subwoofer to get to, like, I like that. Yeah. And, but I would just encourage, someone, like, it's like anything. It's like I'm just saying stuff that's obvious. Like, you can, if you love what you're doing, you'll find an audience. Yes. Like, go. I love Patchworks does this, the Spin the Bottle. Yep. Like, they really love what they're doing, and it comes through, and they're open. Yes. And I think the more that you do that, you meet people and talk. Like, and I was happy when you put on the event. You, Bozzy, Patchwork, like, because of that, like, it feels like a family and less cliquish. Yeah. There's really good people in this area that aren't judgmental. And yes. I don't have, like, you're like, I just started, can I try? Like, go, I don't care. Like, I'm not like, there's not some club. Like, if you do this to think you're gonna move up and make money, like, you should do something else. Like, that's not gonna happen.
That's pretty much it.
Sorry, I'll stop this is what happens when you get old, you just start.
Well, before we wrap up the Q&A, I definitely want to open it up again to anyone out there who would like to have any questions or any comments, for that matter, anything that you guys would like to say. This is a great moment to do that.
You can tell me Yankees suck, it's fine.
How's it going? So my question is, with hip hop being one of the foundational elements of hip hop and a true art form, in your many years of DJing, how do you feel that the growth of streaming has impacted the level and quality of DJing that's out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the grumpy Larry David in me goes like, yeah, it's really done it. But if you go out, like, it's really great to see folks like Badu and J-Rock, Alert. Like, if you ever get a chance to catch one of Jazzy Jeff sets, like, oh my God, like, and there's an audience for it. Like, I was standing there, like, you know, we're sitting around with our grays, and everyone was like young and feeling it. Like, so it's, so it's a mixed bag, I guess. I think in the production I mean, it's really corporations and money. Like, I loved when it was more, you know, rebel and kind of punk. Like, people were putting out stuff, and yes, artists need to be compensated and all that, but thank God De La Soul finally got their stuff out. But, you know, so I think it's a mix, it's good and bad. Like, they had to compromise a lot. I've always looked at it different. I think I'm biased. Like, my cousin's a musician. Like, it wouldn't be cool if someone sampled his stuff and didn't give him credit for it. Like, you know, I get that. But like, I also we put out edits and records that aren't licensed. Like, Discogs won't let us sell it on there anymore or anything because they're scared of lawsuits and all that. And I might do it later if it's interesting, but like the Biz Marquee song, like You Got What I Need, like it's a Freddie Scott song, right? And so the edits that we did, and we break even, like we're barely, and so we're not I think it's a different thing when you're profiteering off it, you're trying to like, so to answer your question, I think it's a mixed bag. Like it's not like I listen to there's a lot of like Little Sims and stuff that I think are amazing. Like I saw her in London, was just like, oh my God, like had that feeling I had like when I saw Tribe or Beastie for the first time, or like blew my mind. So I think, and I'm blanking on their name, because I'm old, but we were at this music event in Detroit, and I don't know where they're from, but it was like boom bap. And I did a second take, I was like, wait, is this like a B-side of Native Tongues that I don't know? Like, what is this? And they were like 18, 19, 20, and so I think there's some hope, like it's out there. But I think there's a lot of overproduction and a lot of, and I don't know, maybe it's just my ears attuned to something that seems more warm and real, and it's cool when you start seeing it and having it. Like with anything, it's commodified, and you know, there's stuff about it's not great. Again, sorry if I didn't answer the question, but yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. So
Thank you for that question. I appreciate that. So we're gonna wrap up with one more question. Probably 2 minutes, really quick. So Chelsea HiFi was inspired by the jazz kizzas in Japan. These are the original listening bars. Look them up. They've been around since the 40s, 50s, probably even before that. And the concept there was to provide a space for people to listen to music for free, because records plus the equipment was expensive. Not everyone could afford it. I don't know how much you know about Chelsea, but from your experience and your experience with vinyl and listening and do you think this type of concept, this type of experience could work in a place like Chelsea?
I think so. Like, if you have people who really want to hear you taken on a journey, I mean, I didn't say that well before, but that's a big part when you're DJing. Sorry, you're not just about the records you're playing. Like, have something. You want to take somebody somewhere. And I'm not the artist. I'm not like John Coltrane or something. But you shouldn't just be there like playing records, even if it's a party. You want to take somebody somewhere and like show them something, give them what they know, and then all of that. So I think it could. I actually worked, Bazi was there too. I think just like anything that's trendy and you're trying to make money, like sound bars, you gotta be careful. Like the snobby part of me, the whole point, like the original Japanese, the kisses they worked with what they had, but the sound was designed for the space it was in. And there are a few great ones around the globe. Maurice and Sao Paulo, and I've been and want to play there so bad. A couple places in London, and then there's a real lo-fi one that's in Detroit. It's in I don't know if it's a Russian bath or Polish bath, but it's like it's a side. It's like it was a lounge, like when it was just men and leather seats. But they really got a very expensive, nice sound system, but they built it themselves. Like former Motown engineers and folks like built this. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun to do. And people, I think if you build it, they will come. It can't be pretentious. It can't be about, we tried to help out the guys at Spy Bar, but they just wanted to sell cocktails and like, sorry to poo-poo someone, but it was like, they built this amazing sound system. And the guy Bruce who did it, Bruce Carrera, Berkeley guy, amazing sound guy, and they built a system that would probably cost us out of the box like $500,000. We got it for like $200K.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And then the owner started like renting it out to like Richie dudes, Farmer Bros probably. Sorry, I'm picking up. Sorry if anybody's in the. We need medicine. It's important. But like to like DJ themselves, and they just fucked up the sound equipment, like because the stuff was very sensitive. I do think it can work, and it's about a community. It's about. It's not so much about sequencing. I've been to sound bars. I mean, what my memory and what I understood about some of the original Japanese ones, post-war, you didn't have like Miles Davis touring there at that time.
Right.
And so it was a way to get music that they wanted and access to it that you couldn't get when that used to be what records were for. And I think you could do that here. And if you do it well, I mean, I had really high hopes. I was like, look, you can bring in, I mean, Dante's Hi-Fi can be a little bit of a circus sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not really a hi-fi, it's more of a, you're DJing behind a bar.
Yeah, it's cool.
And people like,
Miami.
yeah. But, and I think you can, and if you do it well, I guarantee you, like, real heads will come. You will be able to bring other people outside this community into it. And I have yet to see it. There are a couple places in Boston. Was it Tokyo Bar? No, it's downtown. It was
Grace.
Yeah, Grace Notes.
Temple Records.
Yeah, Temple Records. I went to Temple, but Grace Notes are great. Temple
Records is my favorite.
Yeah.
I would have to say it's my favorite listening bar in
yeah,
Boston.
I wish it would. I feel like sometimes I came in to do it, and I mean, it's the owner's place. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to play some Judas Priest. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay,
And the selection could be a little questionable.
That's
but-
okay. I just think, if you have a point and you're trying to do something,
Yeah.
I think it could work. I really do. I think if
Cool.
you, again, if you nurture it and you get the support, and really, the thing I think that's interesting, whenever I travel or do something, I try to, like, when I'm in Detroit, that's probably the place, as long as I've been doing it, I'm the most insecure. Just because of the history there.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't got techno, you ain't got any of it. You ain't got house real. I mean, you don't need me to teach you all that. But like, and people come out, and it's like, you will get a look. It's the more Midwestern, like, but it's, but I love playing there, and because people really want to listen to you, and that's great. And I used to think I couldn't get that here. So I'm selfish. I'm like, when I meet awesome folks like yourself and cool people that come out and care about it or are curious, like, it makes a difference. I guarantee you, like, it'll feel better than, going to Spy Bar and paying $20 for a crappy drink and food they just throw in a microwave and put it on a fancy plate. Like, I saw it happen. And it's, you put it out there, that's what you're gonna, I mean, it is what you put into it, right? So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
I think that.
Is this what it's going to be like when I'm in an old home?
Somebody get this going on.
When I was a kid, people gave a shit about. Sorry.
Well, again, thank you, SumJ,
Yeah.
aka Jonathan. Thank you so much for this. This is great.
Yeah.
Thank you all for participating and being a part of this. Again, this is a community gathering, and we do have more hi-fis coming up. The next one's gonna be on Friday, October 3rd. We're gonna have DJ Rugged One playing. He's a really nasty DJ as well, great selector, and has a lot of insights that I think all of you will be happy to hear. Please continue to stick around. We have a cash bar, we have an art installation, we're gonna have some dope edits coming out and playing. We also have some photo ops, free record swag. Please make sure to leave with the tote bag, before you head out. Take one home with you. Again, thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your night. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Peace.
Thank you. And I'll say, like, if you want to